Hi, my name is Dina Halleck, and today I'm here talking about the most significant self-care move I have ever made in my whole life, and that was quitting smoking after 30 years with no intention of doing so and cold turkey. And I'm here to tell you it is so hard, it is so difficult that, to be honest, I'm not sure that if I picked up a cigarette again, I could actually do it again. What I'm hoping happens in this video is that you get some sort of inspiration, you get something maybe out of it that helps you continue on your journey or helps you start your journey. Whether it's cold turkey, with a vape, with the patch, with the gum, all the things I too considered that I hold no judgment for. So don't think that I do. I'm just saying this is how I did it. What I also don't want this video to be is, of course, all the reasons why you should quit smoking, right? Your quit's your quit. If you're watching this video, it's because you've already decided what your reasons are. And whether that is bad breath and it costs too much, or I can't walk a block down the street without being out of breath, or I'm just really tired of cigarettes controlling my whole entire life, which I completely understand every single one of them. But again, your business. So how it all started was my husband and I were looking for a house to rent. And we were outside talking to the owner of this house. And she says, I think you have a polyp on your voice cord. And I was like, well, maybe, because at the time it was extremely rough. Like, I'm talking extreme vibration. By the end of the day, I would be so tired from pushing air out just to get a voice out. That is how bad it was getting. And it had probably been progressing, 3-4 years, little by little. But it had really come to a head. She said that she had just gotten one taken off of her voice cord, and she had the name of a doctor who could take a look at it for me, ear, nose, and throat doc. So I said, okay. My husband is so relieved because he has been begging me to take care of this. So I go there, and he, in fact, says I have a polyp on my voice cord. And what it is your voice cords are shaped like this. And when you talk, they stretch out and they cause a vibration. And the vibration is your voice. So what I had was a polyp on my right side, and it was pretty good size. And when my voice cords squeezed together, there, of course, was the vibration. So he said, well, you said you were a smoker, and I'm going to beg you to quit. And I said, I have no intention of quitting, and all the reasons smokers give, right? Like, it's not a good time, and I have no intention to, and I just don't think I can, and all the things. So he said, please give me 2 weeks, because when you smoke, your voice cords get soft, and you will have had a surgery on them. And I said, okay, because I'm going through this thing to make my life better. I can do anything for 2 weeks, right? And then I completely told myself I was going to start back up again. And to this day, tip number 1, I've never told myself I cannot smoke a cigarette. Of course I am. I'm a grown-up. I'm allowed. I know how. I could do it. But I'm choosing not to. So I give myself permission, but I'm making the choice not to. So the first thing I do is I know that I don't want to be a jerk to my family. And I have 4 daughters. The last one was still home. It was her senior year, I believe, and my husband. And I said, look, you're just going to have to forgive me, but I'm not going to be around you. I will come down to eat or go out to eat, but then I'm going back upstairs, and I'm either going to be in my bed watching Netflix or in my bathtub watching Netflix, because those were the 2 places that I never smoked anyway. So I figured safe, I'm just going to start there. And I didn't want to gain weight. That's another thing smokers don't want to do. I have to lose 10 pounds before I quit smoking, because I know I'm going to gain weight, all the things. So I start there, but then I don't know. My brain is going crazy because I can only be still for so long. I can't go back to work for a couple weeks. And so I started looking up like different hot teas and the things, how they benefit your body and your lungs and your digestive system and all the things, just to get my brain going somewhere else. So tip number 2, find something else to concentrate on. An interest, anything. Actually, YouTube would have been a lot of fun to start. It would have been different. Anyway, so I then started working out every day. And I actually had my husband take me to the gym so I would not drive to a convenience store and buy a pack of cigarettes. So he took me and he picked me up a few times, and I started working out furiously. And so I had the tea, I had the smoke, I had the working out, I had places I was going that I never smoked before, and I just was choosing to not be around my family because I'd rather do that than be mean. So, excuse me, a couple weeks go by and it's time to go back to work. But what happens is that now I'm in another routine, and I'm by no stretch of anybody's imagination healed yet. I still have so many withdrawals going on. My body still ached, but I really did need to get busy getting back to work. And I'm a substitute teacher's aide in a school and a substitute bus driver, which I absolutely love. So before work, every day that I did work, I smoked 2 cigarettes, and on my break smoked 2 cigarettes. So I was really concerned about how that was going to go down, because I can't be mean to the kids and I can't be mean to the teacher. And, these people are my friends. So I get back to work and it's all I can talk about. Of course, my body, I feel like, is on fire. Every 5 seconds, it just felt like I was triggered and was having a withdrawal. And it being all I could talk about, it was like having a toothache, headache, backache. If it's happening to you, you could be talking about the weather, and all of a sudden you're relating it to what is paining you at that moment. So I'm sure everyone was sick of it, but everybody was totally patient. And 1 o'clock comes around and I'm like, I want to go out for a cigarette. But there was only 2 other smokers who were not going to give me a cigarette because they knew I was trying to quit. And I found the break room. Funny story, didn't know we had one. So I sat in there drinking my teas because I'm an intermittent faster, so I was not eating. Fun fact for another day as well. And so it was kind of nice. I'm talking to people and I'm actually like being social without, working at the time. So because I'm on my break. So I had that, but still a couple more weeks passed by, and my husband is in fact still a smoker, and that's fine with me. We were together smoking. He did quit for 7 years and I still smoked, and now I quit and he's smoking. He's very respectful of his smoking and doesn't do it around me when I'm feeling like I can't handle it. So that's fine. I love him anyways. It's his quit. I'm not his mom. So they would be sitting around though, and my brain, would start tricking itself. And I would think, just grab one. No one's going to know, blah, blah, blah. And I would be on my way to work. And then I'd find that I was halfway to work and I hadn't gotten a cigarette. And all of a sudden, it was probably 6-8 weeks before it was becoming not a constant thought. It was occurring occasionally, but not, I could actually have a whole conversation, and parts of that conversation I wouldn't think about smoking. So that was an improvement. So then my husband comes up to me and he's like, you know what, Dina, clearly you're still trying to quit smoking. You're still trying to stay quit. So why don't you spend the money that you would on cigarettes anyways? Because we weren't going to save it. So I joined kickboxing and I did a sauna once a week. And that was a treat to myself, with the understanding that if I was going to start smoking again, that I could not do the sauna anymore and I would have to quit kickboxing. So that too was a motivator, and true, you aren't going to save it anyway, so you may as well use that money to treat yourself because you aren't smoking anymore. That's how it happened. It continues, I feel like, to still be work sometimes. It's not a continuous thought. It is, in fact, a fleeting thought now. It's been 2.5 years. A couple of things also that I would recommend is getting the Butt Out app, B-U-T-T Out app. You plug in, your name, your birthday, how many years you've been smoking, how much you smoked, how much it costs. And then what it does, and it still does to this day for me, even after 2.5 years, it tells you the years, months, days, hours, seconds, minutes, seconds that you have quit smoking, how much money you've saved, how many cigarettes you didn't smoke. And sometimes, still to this day, I'll go back on that app and I'll be like, oh, wow, I have not smoked 25,000 cigarettes. I have saved $11,000 ish because I've spent it on other things, because I do in fact treat myself because I deserve it. Anyways, that being one thing, the second thing would be that to understand, or an epiphany that I had was that whenever I was going out to smoke, I felt, wow, these cigarettes sure are making me feel better. But what in fact is happening is that by the time you're walking outside to have a cigarette, is that you're already starting to withdraw. So you're lighting that cigarette and it's making you feel better. So in fact, the cigarette is like the arsonist and the firefighter. It is what's making you sick and making you feel better all at the same time. It is not your friend. So number one is stop saying that. The very last thing I want to say, and it is something that I want to say to people who are trying to be supportive of the person who is trying to quit smoking. Please stop saying after 24 hours, the carbon monoxide is out of your system, so all you have left is this, and this is the addiction. Well, that in fact is not the case. What is happening is your brain is actually rewiring itself, because while you were smoking, you spent that time rewiring itself. So now you're trying to undo everything. Because after 30 days, the nicotine receptors are finally back to normal and you stop your cravings. In my opinion, it took me probably more like 6 to 8 weeks. And then research shows that after 3 months, the dopamine receptors are back to normal and the pleasure part of your brain doesn't need nicotine anymore to have pleasure. So it takes a while. I would say it took 3 months before I actually started feeling normal on any level and could actually be around my family on a normal basis. Not that all 3 months I was in my bed or bath, but a lot of it, or I'd be downstairs and I'd be like, you know what, I'm not feeling very well right now. I'm going to go upstairs and take my brain somewhere else. Whether it's read a book, get into a show, get into working out, research that. When my mom quit smoking years ago, she got into researching the Amish. I mean, you'll discover some things about yourself. But my wish for you is that you got something out of this, and I wish you well, and I hope that your journey continues in the right direction, or the direction that you really want it to. So you have a fantastic day, and leave in the comments your experiences, things that have helped you, or all the reasons you want to quit, or anything else you might want to hear about from me in the future. So take care and have a great day.